Hey, you want to see me at all? You sit down? Oh, boy. Oh my God, did you see the story? It was the most heartwarming thing. It was on the symphony. It was a symphony orchestra somewhere in a European country, and they're playing outdoors, and it's like they're up on stone or whatever, probably some historic site. This dog, stray dog, walks out of nowhere and laying down next to him and listening to it. It's like the cutest thing.
Go.
So I got a combo pack from a company that I've been getting filters from a long time called Boogie Brew. So I'm actually excited. I want to brew up some of their compost tea recipe. I want an additional air pump anyway, so it comes with this set. Came with an air pump, hose, and one air stone. I upgraded to the extra large Boogie Brew Plus filter. I believe this is rated for 45,000 gallons for its life expectancy. The great thing about that here in DC, if you check the water report, there is absolutely chloramine in the water, and its ppm rating probably varies about how close you are from the water treatment plant. Here in Southeast, we're probably pretty close to where the water is being treated, so it's probably a higher ppm. So I wanted to get the Plus filter. So this is going to get out 99% of the chlorine, and I believe upwards of 80+% of the chloramine, and the other 20% or so I'm going to rely on the humus content of the containers, the no-till containers, to basically neutralize the chloramine. It binds with the humus and is basically rendered in a different molecule, really. It's broken apart. So filter your water. I prefer an inline filter over any other type of filtering. I personally feel RO is very wasteful. You know, someone might correct me, but I know probably even a good model, you're still wasting 50%, I would think, maybe even higher. This isn't wasting water, it's just being filtered. They come with a cool little burlap bag, brewer bag, to put their mix in. So their base mix, it's a Part A, Boogie Boost, and Boogie Base. So you do a half and half. This has worm castings, and wood chip and biochar base. So basically this is two types of compost in here. This is a super blend of organic inputs. If you actually go, the reason I support this company actually is I'm an organic gardener as well, and YouTube channel I love. Shout out to John Kohler, Growing Your Greens. Amazing channel. I love the guy. He makes me laugh, and he really covers some good stuff. He endorses the filter, he endorses their products, and they actually did a cool video where they did an open source and talked about every ingredient that they put in these two products, where they came from, and basically they just source high-end stuff. So it's very high-end compost, it's high-end worm castings. This particular kit I got also added on a small amount of Warm Gold Plus worm castings, which seems to be very hard to find here on the East Coast. Currently no one can get this for us in DC, so DC asked for this. They make amazing worm castings. I'm also going to add some wiggle worm castings and some of my own personal worm castings. So the tea we're brewing right now is going to have an extreme diversity of life in it. To top that off, a couple other products they got. This is basically insect frass. They call it Boogie Frass, but it's nothing but insect frass, so you can get that in from anybody. It was just convenient to let them throw a bag in there. And it's nice to add at the end of the brewing process, but not during the brewing process. So this right here is a C90 product. I've used it in the past in liquid form. This is basically ensuring that you're getting every trace mineral possible, and it's coming from mined ocean salt, where I believe like 3 places meet, and it's a great diversity. You add that very sparingly, once a month or so, and their Boogie Bricks is basically a combination of high grade sugar, some complex, some simple sugars, and you throw a little bit of this in at the end of the brewing process, just to give them a little boost going into the main when applying the drench. So you also throw in foundation, Greenstone Foundation, soluble mycorrhiza. It's an endo mycorrhiza product. Looks like it's 72 populations per gram. So that's not super high. I don't know. They recommend throwing that in if you want a fungal brew. My understanding of mycorrhiza fungi is they only become active when they activate a root zone, so they need to be in a root zone to multiply. Even when I talked to some of my professors, they weren't 100% sure on that, whether that is true or not true. So, you know, I haven't looked at it under a microscope yet and seen if, you know, I can see an additional amount of fungi when you do use that. It's something to look into. I don't think it can hurt. I think adding it at the end is probably a good idea as well. They have an additional worm casting to just throw in. So this particular brew is going to have 5 diverse worm castings from 5 sources. So the bacterial population should be extremely diverse. And between the frass being added at the end and the strong wood-based compost that comes in here, and then splashing some mycorrhiza, you should have a great fungal base too. So hopefully this tea is going to rock. I'm going to use 2 pumps, 2 air stones, or 3 air stones. So we're going to over aerate it. Keep you updated.
We'll put a link in the description.
See y'all later. Bye, Jackson. Say bye.
What are you doing right now?
Trying to get these air stones clean. Although according to Dr. Lenny, you can't ever get them clean. You should never use them in compost tea. So sorry. She said you can't ever really get this stuff out of the micropores.
I can see that, like a pumice stone.
Yeah, I would think if you bleach the shit so that it would definitely kill whatever's in there. So I don't know, we could try that. She's brewing, when she brews it though, she's looking at it under a microscope and wants, you know, getting above my level of brewing. So I'm just hoping for the best for that. You know, the micro bubbles are important to really aerate it. So hopefully the good stuff that's being brewed in there will win out over anything that's bad left over in these bubbles.